Greetings and welcome back to Chaplains Chat. I'm Chaplain Charlie Wharton with the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office.
And I'm Larry Crabtree, chaplain with the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office in the Maryland State Police.
Larry, the month of May is an important month for us because it is the month that contains what has been traditionally called Law Enforcement Memorial Week or Peace Officer Memorial Day. Typically it is around the middle of the month, but we're going to take some time at the end of this month and talk about just how important this event is for us.
Yeah, in fact, I think this year, because of COVID, aren't we actually putting the real observance this year? It's October sometime, October 13th to 17th, I believe it is.
Yeah, the National Police Week that's held up in D.C. is going to be October 13th through the 17th this year.
Yeah. So a little bit different timing, but same heart.
Back in 1962, President John Kennedy signed into law what has been called National Police Week and designated May 15th as Law Enforcement Memorial Day or Police Memorial Day. And I've always found it interesting that the president that signed this into law was one that was assassinated, and the person that killed him also killed a Dallas police officer. So in retrospect, this day really is significant in the history of law enforcement.
It really is. And it's, we've been privileged to actually witness and participate, particularly that day of memorial. And it really is a surreal experience to see, our country's capital just flooded with law enforcement officers in uniform from all over the nation. It's just an incredible thing to see. The respect, the honor that's there on that day. It's just a moving experience.
Every year there are 150 to 200 police officers that are killed in the line of duty. In 2020, because of the health issues that COVID brought, there were so many more. I think the last number I saw were 358 officers who died in the line of duty, and over 250 of those were impacted by health issues. But as you look back over your career, are there some things that stand out in this memorial service for you?
I think one of the things that hits me the most is while I was serving as a chaplain in Detroit, one of the most poignant moments was that the FBI there in Detroit experienced an agent who died in the line of duty. It was actually an automobile accident. That was the first time in all of their history that ever occurred. And so that became very real, very moving in that moment. And again, it was just kind of awe-inspiring to be a part of that memorial service, to see the amount of people that got. It was the largest funeral service I've ever seen. The seriousness of it, the cost that was involved, and it required that. So that's something that has always stuck with me and I'll never forget.
Having been involved in state agencies before and been involved in training, I've been impacted by several line of duty deaths, and as I look back over those times, there's this mix. There's maybe this dichotomy of emotions, because on one hand you are so proud of somebody who is willing to stand in that gap between good and evil, and on the other hand there's this incredible sadness that not only have we lost an individual, but society has had a part in taking that individual away from us.
Again, it's such a moving and meaningful experience, because in a culture right now where, often you get very discouraged in the way that society's looking at you, in these moments of memorial, the honor, the value, the significance, the cost, and it affects an entire community. Everything seems to pause at that moment and salute. And it's worthy of that, and it's real. And I wish, as a nation, we would capture more of that right now, because it's being forgotten, because this is real.
I remember we went to a funeral service for a couple of officers that were killed out in western South Dakota where I was, and I was part of the processional that went from the place of the service out to the cemetery. And to watch people as they lined the streets, from preschool kids to 80-year-old men that were standing there with their hands over their hearts, with tears coming down their eyes. I think that speaks to just how significant this event is for our nation.
And that is repeated over and over again when a law enforcement officer falls and is harmed in that way and life is lost. The dignity and the respect, that still exists. And I'm thankful for that.
I think that all in all, we've gotten better as a profession of protecting ourselves. The seatbelt requirement was one of the most basic things that is saving lives. Vests. I was just reading about an officer that was shot in the chest, and it was the vest that saved the officer. So we're doing a better job of taking care of our men and women in law enforcement, but that still does not take away that ultimate risk that they take on every time they walk out of their house and they go out to protect and serve.
And that risk isn't always going to be seen with bullet holes or blood or some kind of physical harm. That risk also comes every day with what happens inside of them, with the heaviness that they carry, with the scars that are left as they do their jobs. And so again, it is an honorable profession and it is a difficult one.
And for some of you that are watching this, you may have been impacted by losing a family member to a law enforcement incident, maybe a husband, a wife, a friend, son or daughter may have been killed in the line of duty. And we don't want to forget you because we know that you carry that with you as well. And we want you to understand that we think about you and we pray for you on a regular basis.
And we thank you for the sacrifice that you've made, because we're a better people, a better nation, because of what you have given and what you feel each and every day of your life.
Larry, as we finish up the month of May and as we look forward to October this year of actually being able to get back on the streets of D.C. and experiencing National Police Week, we truly want to remind everybody to be strong
and be safe.